So in English.
Hi, Nicholas.
Hi, Reto.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, same. I think 2-3 weeks ago was the first time we met through email.
Yes.
It was super exciting for me because you opened for me a new world, which I didn't knew.
A lot of compliments, thank you.
And yeah, it's fantastic. Maybe you can tell a little bit what you're doing here.
Yeah, of course. We are actually the last of the Mohicans concerning bespoke tailoring.
Yeah.
We have working here at Dreikönigstrasse in Zurich, and we do the stuff exactly the same as 100 years ago. Customers come, they get measured out, then we do a pattern. After that, we do a first fitting. We have a second fitting. Mostly that's enough, but sometimes you need a third one. And well, that's how the suit is taking its form. And at the end, usually it takes about 2 to 4 months. Depends a little bit of our work we have, but that's about the frame of time we used to have for a suit. And in this kind of work, we are the last actually in more or less in Switzerland. Probably there's 1 or 2 guys working for themselves in a smaller version, but we are 10 people here working all together, and this is the way we do it.
What I think is impressive as well is that you have the workshop behind the front.
Exactly, and it's 100 meters off Bahnhofstrasse, which is also very exciting in case of usually if you have something you produce, you go out of town, but I can't go to Schlieren or somewhere with that stuff we make. So yeah, it was really present by heaven that we could have this room here. It's enough for. We have the office, we have the shop, and in the back we have the atelier. And so we are also for customers. It's very nice because they can see with their own eyes what we do, and it's not something we send to China, to southern Italy, or to Germany. It's all made here at Dreikönigstrasse in Zurich.
One other thing that I directly remarked when I walked in, first was the shoes you have.
Yeah.
Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about your shoes.
Yeah, Belgian shoes, a super shoe which is sold at 3 spots worldwide.
Yeah.
And when I started my business in 85, it was one of my big intentions to sell Belgian shoes, because I knew Belgian shoes from Andy Warhol. He was very often here in Zurich, and he had the guy who was representing him was Thomas Ammann, and I knew Thomas. So at the parties and when they met, and so lunches or whatever, I've always seen these shoes with Andy, and I said, well, can you tell me where you got these shoes from? Yeah, we do have a small shop here in New York, and they sell these shoes. And blah, blah, blah. So then I get to know my wife. At that time, she was studying and she had holidays, and so I gave her a ticket. Said, your job is now to go to New York, go to this shop and find out where they make the shoes. Because we were freshly in love, of course, she did that. No? And I don't know if she will do it again today, but anyhow, she hasn't been much more than 3 minutes in the store, because they kicked her out immediately, because they said, we don't want to tell you where they come from. This is our specialty, and we worldwide exclusive and everything. So I said, yeah, okay. Then she went, and she came home without any good news. And this time was the time before internet. You couldn't just Google around and look and find. So it took me about a year to find out where they make the shoes. I wrote a letter. They wrote back and they told me no problem. But it's nice that you like the shoes and that you would like to sell them, but we can't do that because we do have a worldwide exclusive contract with Henry Bendel in New York. So that was the situation. I knew what they said, but I couldn't accept. So every month I wrote the letter again. I never got an answer back, but I just wrote. And 1.5 years later, morning 9 o'clock, it rang, the bell rang, and my shop at this time was in the first floor on the other side of the river. And the people came up, 3 very normal people, asking, "Are you Mr. Roffler?" And I said, "Yes." They said, "We are Belgian shoes." I said, "Oh, wow, come in." And then they said they were going to the leather fair in Milan, and they made a stopover because we have to tell you in person that it is not possible that you sell our shoes. Even if we admire your insisting in asking and doing and whatever, but we can't do that. So we had a little chat, and suddenly it's a family business actually. So it's the mother, the father, and 2 daughters. So there were the 3 of them, and suddenly the mother said, "Listen, by the way, where is the shop where you would like to sell the shoes?" I said, "Yeah, here." And she said, "Well, but that's funny. I mean, this is not a store. This is just some first floor somewhere in the alley here. I mean," I said, yeah, but my customer, they come here." "Really?" "Yes." So they had a chat in Flemish, and a minute later she said, "Listen, if you really want to sell the shoes here, you can have it."
That's a good ending.
Yeah, that was really brilliant. And 1 week later, we sat in a plane flying to Brussels. They took us there, and we went to the place they do it. It's all handmade. It's a nice place, family run, really special and personal, and so. And that was about, I think, 88 or so. And since then, I'm selling the Belgian shoes. It's only for quite a special group of people. It's not really a brand because there is no advertisement on them. It's just by knowing people who wear them like this, but not in a bigger scale.
I think that's the best sign of a luxury product.
Yeah, because
you don't need marketing for it.
Yes, and you don't have. It's like if you have a brand tag on your chest outwards, it's about the same. If you have.
Do you have a pair to show?
Well, we have one here as a single pair. I think you know it already a bit.
Yeah. You sold them always, right?
Yes, we do have. We get them like this, but we put a little very thin rubber sole on it, and it's also for a better maintenance. I mean, in kind of walking around on streets, because this here is all calf leather, and it's very fine. So it makes sense.
How long does one pair last if you wear it constantly?
I mean, it's like everything. If you have one pair, it doesn't last as long as if you have 20.
Yeah.
And of course, but they look a bit like, it's just a little bit of a shoe, but they really last quite a long time. And I have pairs that even 30 years or more.
And I think they look better with time, or is it?
Yeah, no, it depends a little bit. I mean, it's always good to have a pair which is very fresh and nicely looking for some events. On the other side, it's also very cool to have the worn out ones, for different occasions. Even some kind of party with an old one makes fun. It's not.
And the one thing that connected us first was watches.
Yes, exactly.
You wrote me an inquiry. I didn't know what I was expecting. I just came here and I was amazed, as
cool.
said before. And you brought something really special today, which, in my opinion, a lot of collectors would love to have in their collection. Yeah. An old Blancpain, and it's the 50 Phantom, and it's the one that Swatch made a collaboration with System 51, the movement. Yeah. And this is one of the first, I guess.
It must be. I can't tell you properly, but the case is very special it's a very special material. I mean, it's either it's a brushed something or it's a titan or something, because it's not a normal steel. But well, probably we could find out with more inquiries. But
well preserved.
the condition is excellent. I bought it decades ago, actually. I have to say, but I've never been wearing it, because sometimes it looks nice, but it never fitted for my ideas how to wear it now. So it stood in the box.
Where did you find it, in Switzerland, or?
Yes, I bought it here. It actually could be on a flea market, even, yeah. But I can't tell you anymore.
No, it's and especially the dial, the bezel. I think such a bezel in that condition.
Yeah, it's must be very rare. Yeah. I agree.
And thank you that you brought that with you today. We are now planning to maybe do more of those episodes that you always bring one
along, and then we can speak a little bit about it.
Yeah, no, it's and what attracted you the most to that piece?
Well, I always liked the black and white idea of a watch. Mm-hmm. Even I was diving already in my early years, so one had to have a diving watch. Of course, at that stage I couldn't afford a Rolex or so. So I still have it somewhere back in my boxes. I kept it because it was a very good watch. It was a Mirexal from Migros. Yeah. They had this watch, and it was always very good working condition, everything. So I kept it as a remembrance in the old days, diving in the lake here where I learned it. And so the kind of a look was I always liked, this black and white, and or also chronograph. But
and it's quite big for the time as well.
Yeah. It must have been. I think it must have been one of the very first ideas of a special diving watch.
And it needs to be waterproof. Do you know how far it can go?
I think it's even written
on the back. Yeah, there's just waterproof, but I guess you can use it.
Well, in these days, of course, even the ones going down underwater, they didn't do like Rolex says today 1,000 meters or so. Who dives 1,000 meters?
Do you remember which time you bought it? Like in how many years ago?
Yeah, I think it's 2 years ago. But it's really
before the quartz crisis, or
before
the quartz crisis.
Yeah. No.
Because it's remarkable. I think a lot of collectors don't get that, but like when the quartz crisis hit, there was no future for mechanical watches.
Yeah.
So that you kept it really in your collection shows that you appreciate such pieces. It's just phenomenal. No, I think we will continue next time with another episode.
I'd like to.
Reto, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Nicholas. And see you next time. Yeah.